right, let's do a hybrid video here, or some Kings. Oh wait, I forgot my really professional intro. Hang on, I'm back. Okay, now let's do a hybrid video on crypto. I'm going to try to focus mostly on Bitcoin, but what I want to do is just go through the comments. And go from there. That'll get a lot of things answered. But we'll also do some TKR, the King's Return, some of the comments on there. One of the big ones was we talked about a report. I don't even have the game open. We talked about a report where I wasn't targeting their T11, but I killed all their T4 siege. And apparently a bunch of people are building a bunch of T4 to distract and absorb your T11, which is bizarre to me that my T11 wouldn't target the opposing T11 first. But I have seen them attack the T12 first, so what do I know about battle mechanics? I always thought that they tried to attack their same tier, or at least in the range of their same tier, but apparently not. So going into some of these, here's an attack lost here. So I did pretty poorly against this guy, and he was only 2.1 billion, but you saw against 4.5 billion, I smoked him. So we're going to go in and take a look at his troops, and you're going to see, I'll try not to cover this too much, it's a repeat from yesterday. I barely scratched his T11 there at the top, but when you scroll down here, let's see how many T4 he had. 2.5 million. That's all it took. It was 2.5 million. Because somebody in my comments you'll see later was saying that there was, people are trying to build up a lot more. So I guess it depends what level you're at. I wanted to look at the comments, and we're just going to go through these. Here's several comments about wanting to see more about Bitcoin, and I'm going to get into that. There was another comment in here. I thought, what's the best app to buy crypto on? Crypto is very painful to buy, but it's gotten a lot easier. That's why crypto's kind of soared lately. The U.S. government approved Bitcoin ETFs, kind of ordains it as, it's legit now. I mean, the biggest thing holding back crypto was, it's nothing real. You can't hold it. It's going to go to zero once you find out who really created it. You can find a bunch of old, crusty white guys that love the banks and love the stock markets and love controlling people with money that just hate the idea of crypto. Because crypto and Bitcoin was created back when there was a housing bubble crashed, a housing bubble burst back in like 2008. A group of guys got together. They don't know who the group of guys are, which really freaks people out until you understand what Bitcoin is. Group of guys got together and decided they actually copied a technology from emails. And crypto doesn't stand for, what do people usually think it stands for? I can't even remember what most people tend to think it is. You're thinking it in your head. Well, crypto actually stands for cryptography. So they use cryptography technology from emails and how emails are kept track of on the internet. So what they did is they set up multiple computers that take snapshots of a ledger that shows you who's got what money at all times. So that way one computer can't hack the system. Now I'm going to make up a number. I don't know. There's many thousands of computers or miners that are keeping these snapshots of the ledger around the world. You would need more than 51% of the network to hack Bitcoin. So you can't hack Bitcoin. When people say they get hacked, they screwed up. They clicked on an email and clicked a link that looked legit, and sometimes they'll even log into your phone or your computer and convince you to give them your information because they say, I'm with Coinbase, there's people that have access to your computer, we're going to get them off, and they'll end up, hacking your computer. There's many ways to do it. They do it with your bank. They do it with your credit cards. They do it with crypto. So you can't hack Bitcoin, but you can lose your crypto if you're stupid. So going back to the creators, what they did is they created a blockchain, and it was a group of several individuals. But how do we know that if we don't know who they were? They think Satoshi Nakamoto was the real creator of Bitcoin, and he's dead. But nobody knows that for sure. The person who had created Bitcoin gave themselves a bunch of Bitcoin and have never touched their wallet since. So they're kind of timing that with Satoshi Nakamoto, who denied being the Bitcoin creator. When he died, his wallet wasn't touched ever again. And if you're telling me that I had $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, excuse me, I think it's even more than that. I think he had I don't know, look it up. I think he had like 1 million of the Bitcoin that are available, and there's only 21 million Bitcoin ever, and they haven't all been minted yet. So about 19.5 million have been minted, and that's what pays the miners. 900 Bitcoin a day go to all the computers around the world to reward them for keeping the blockchain. And this is a big spider web of information, and I have thousands and thousands of hours of research into it. So there's so many different directions I can go to with every topic we talk about Bitcoin. But so that's why I'm so scatterbrained, because I don't really know which way to take you guys. There's a lot of trust. I don't want you buying Bitcoin because I said to. You need to, do your own research, do whatever you want. There's plenty of people that are going to steer you wrong too. If you're watching Bitcoin videos or crypto videos, there's going to be people telling you got to buy this. It's $100 today. It's going to go to $1 million tomorrow. Don't do it. Just if you really don't want to spend 10,000 hours investigating this stuff, just stick with the best cryptos at the top, like Bitcoin and a few others. And I can explain some of those to you. But so the reason we don't care who the creators are is I was talking so long that my phone kicked me off. So the reason we don't care about who the creators are is because I don't want that to start playing. Okay, good. The reason we don't care who the creators are is because the code, the Bitcoin code, is open source, meaning that there's only 21 million Bitcoin. Every 4 years, there's a halving, which we talked about. And what the halving is, right now, there's 900 Bitcoin a day minted to pay the miners. At the halving, there's only 450 Bitcoin a day. So that creates a supply shock on the exchanges that are trying to sell and buy. So they're obviously supply and demand. If there's not enough supply and the demand is there, the price goes up. Again, that happens on April 18th-ish. It's based on every 10 minutes there's a block. So nobody knows exactly the time, but that's about when it'll happen. I mean, it should happen that day. But so being open source code, all the miners have to uphold that code in order to mine Bitcoin. And if Satoshi Nakamoto all of a sudden came back to life and said, hey, I'm the creator, he could not change Bitcoin. He couldn't increase the amount of Bitcoin there are. And think about it, 21 million Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not real adopted yet. It is being adopted way faster than the internet was when it was created. So it's being adopted pretty quickly. But if every millionaire wanted one Bitcoin in the world, I mean, I forget how many millionaires there are in the world, but every billionaire in the world couldn't buy a Bitcoin. Well, I don't know if that's true. I don't know how many billionaires there are. But regardless, being that there's only 21 million, the supply is locked. Whereas if you have US dollars, let's say say you're doing pretty well and you have $100,000 in the bank, they keep printing more money every year at an alarming rate. I'm sure you guys know that. When they tell you the inflation's 8%, it's 12% when they count fuel and food. So my point is, after 5 years, your $100,000 is only going to be able to buy $50,000 worth. So it's a horrible store of value, whereas Bitcoin is a good store of value because you can be assured that there'll never be more than 21 million. So Bitcoin does go up and down. It is rather volatile, which a lot of people don't like. But when you want to make massive gains, you need volatility. That's just part of the game. So if you can't handle opening up your phone and seeing a loss one day, you're going to sell and you're going to lose. Because if you don't believe in Bitcoin, you just bought it because some idiot on YouTube told you to buy it, you're going to sell it at the first time you get scared. So you really want to know what you're buying so that you're comfortable holding it for the long term. So let's keep reading comments. This is going to end up mostly being a crypto thing. So if you don't want to hear about crypto, wait for my next video. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of valuable Evony stuff. There was another comment in here where I had talked about Siege getting more distance or range, and skill books were brought up. Obviously, a skill book. I totally forgot about that. You want a ranged skill book on your siege attack and your wall general. So this guy asked about 1000x gems. I'll try to remember to come back to that. Oh, there's the skill book range one. Darn it, I always close it out. You really need to that bot video out loud. So I don't know if he's saying that I've said it out loud to try to get banned or something. I don't know. Crypto Keeper's his name. He also asked in another comment, do you trade leverage? I'd like to say I don't. That's what I said to this guy. And I spelled it wrong here. Man, I would like to say I didn't or I don't, but I have been playing with small amounts of leverage. And I do mean small amounts, like 1% of my portfolio, because Bitcoin has a way to go up and down and it will liquidate people. What leverage is if you go to an exchange, you can do this with stocks too. But basically you put $1,000 on an exchange, whatever the amount is. It doesn't need to be 1,000. But let's use 1,000 because it's a round number. You could take $1,000 and you leverage it, saying I'm borrowing against my $1,000, and I'm going to do a 5x leverage. So now, because I've only got $1,000 on the exchange, I'm now trading at $5,000. So, to explain this, basically you're borrowing money. You're borrowing $4,000 and your only collateral is $1,000, which that doesn't make sense, right? Usually you need more collateral than what you're borrowing. Like if you're going to get a loan on a house, you got to put 20% down so that if you go through bankruptcy, they're going to get their money back. But on an exchange, when you're leveraging, you're borrowing off of your $1,000 up to $5,000. So the reason they can do that is they're charging you a small interest fee, like 1%. I don't know what it is. It's not much. Like if you're leveraging $1,000 2 to 5 times, you're probably paying a couple bucks a day. Look into that. Okay, don't use my math on that. Excuse me. You use leverage when you know something's going to move in a short period of time, because at an interest, you don't want to keep leverage open for a year. You would lose a lot of your gains on an asset that didn't move. So the other thing about leverage is you get liquidated when the stock drops to a certain percent. Again, I'm going to make up some numbers that you need to verify on your own. I'm just using an example here. So if I took $1,000 and I leveraged 5x, I'm basically borrowing $4,000, but I have $5,000 in assets out of my $1,000. If Bitcoin went up, let's say there's a crypto that is $1,000, just to keep the math easy. Now I'm basically leveraging and I have 5 of these crypto. If they went up $100, I would gain $500 because I'm leveraging. So you're getting 5 times the gains. You're also getting 5 times the losses. So if you're, man, I didn't want to do a leveraging video, but if you're leveraging $1,000, 5x, you got 5 grand. If it drops to 4 grand, they liquidate you, meaning you've lost more than you borrowed against, and you lost your $1,000 completely. If whatever you're leveraging goes down like $900 and you sell, you got $100 left out of your $1,000. So there's major downsides, and Bitcoin has an ability to go up and down quickly, and I think it only does it to knock out the leveragers. Like, so you can see today, Bitcoin was kicking ass, kicking butt, touched 70 grand. That's crazy, considering when I first bought this up, I think it was more than 3 months ago. I don't know what the price was, but it was at least 42 grand. Anyways, and you don't have to buy a complete Bitcoin. You can buy a small fraction of Bitcoin. You don't need to buy a whole Bitcoin for nobody. Not many people could afford it then. But I'd like to go to an exchange, but I don't want you to see my exchange. Because if I had an exchange, I could really zoom in closer, and you'll actually see a spike. You see this big red candle all the way to the right. It went all the way down to 67,000 in a snap of a finger, from 68.5 grand to 67 in a flash. And there's a bunch of people that got liquidated in that, because people get really cocky and they go 10x or more on their leverage, and it just wipes them out. Man, I'm just doing too much blabbering already. So the experts say don't touch leverage. It's very, very risky, but it's kind of fun for me for a small portion. And I've actually made a lot of good trades lately, but I had one big one that I chickened out of and took a loss. So I'm probably even, or maybe even just a little under even when you add all the trading fees in and everything. So I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I would just stay away from it. That's what all the experts say. So this is, you guys asked what my 1000x crypto would be. These are my top cryptos. Bitcoin is a huge percentage. So I guess I'll explain cryptos a little bit. So Bitcoin is just, its main function is a store of value, a trusted store of value, even though you're watching here and you don't even trust it because you don't know what it is. You can't hold it in your hand and all that other stuff. I mean, once you get over that, the people that are into crypto, they trust it. It's gold, digital gold. If it goes up, all these other coins go up. If Bitcoin goes down, all these other coins go down in general. If Bitcoin's struggling, nobody's making money. Now you can see my fourth one down there is kicking butt today at 22%. But if Bitcoin went to 50 grand, that one would be suffering too. So let's stick to the top three. The number 2 coin is my third coin, but the number 2 coin in the world is Ethereum. What Ethereum is a blockchain just like Bitcoin, but it's the best way to consider it is a transaction layer. That blockchain can handle many, many transactions of smart contracts, meaning that instead of just me sending somebody Bitcoin and keeping track of that, Ethereum has the ability to have if this, then that. Like, you can buy insurance on Ethereum that you don't need an insurance agent. You don't have to pay them commission, and they don't have to judge you. You can say, hey, I'm going to buy insurance on my crops, and if we get 5 inches of rain this year or less, my crops are going to die. I want my insurance paid out. So you spend $1,000. If that happens, you get 100 grand back. And it's very defined. That's just an example. There's hundreds and hundreds of different use cases. Ethereum is the best by far. If you scroll down, you can see their market cap is $500 million or close. $500 billion. But some things to look at. I don't know how much in depth we want to go. I like to look at a lot of these stats, but I think it'd just be a big wormhole to go down this. So Ethereum is the best Web3 smart contract platform, meaning that they have so much money on this blockchain that gives them validity. Like the more total value locked, or TVL, means that there's people using this blockchain. Now, with these smart contracts, I'm trying to think of a better example. You can do a lot of like banking on this platform, and you can take your money and lend it out, and it'll earn you interest. So if you took Ethereum and another crypto and you put it in like a liquidity pool, you can go to an exchange on Ethereum and you can trade any crypto for any crypto you want, and you have to pay some gas fee to pay, just like instead of paying Bitcoin, you would pay Ethereum as a gas fee. And if they're using your tokens that you lent out in that exchange, they'll pay you anywhere from 2%, and I've seen it like inflated up to 25, sometimes 100% APY. So you can do a lot of banking. This is why your politicians want to shut down crypto. Banks own the world, and they own a lot of politicians, and those politicians are bought and paid for before they get into place. So if you're a big Elizabeth Warren fan, she will tell you crypto is the devil. It's only used by drug traffickers or human traffickers and drug dealers and all that other stuff. Well, that necessarily isn't true, because, I mean, cash is used for way more fraud than Bitcoin. But if you remember back to Bitcoin, if I send you $100, it's on the blockchain. Everybody can see that transaction. It's on the ledger, and they know I'm sending you money. So if you want to be undocumented and paid undocumented, Bitcoin is the worst way to get paid. Now, they do have to do some investigating on who owns the wallet, but you can see the transaction wallet to wallet on the blockchain. And that's how they catch people that have hacked exchanges. They follow the money. And then that Bitcoin goes to something else, and then they got to cash it out eventually, and that's how they catch them. So back to Ethereum. I'm trying to explain crypto. There's so much. Ethereum is that blockchain, that smart contract layer. It is the second best. But if you look down here, here's Ethereum's big flaw. So when this opened, this was 43 cents. So when this opened, for me to send a contract, approving a contract, or send money on Ethereum, it probably cost like 20 cents. That's super cheap. Like if I was going to send $1,000 through my bank to another country or wire it, it's going to take a couple weeks, and it's going to cost more than 20 cents. If you do it in crypto, it's going to take 2 to 10 minutes tops. Some of them are within seconds. But it's going to cost a lot more, but it's only going to cost me 20 cents on Ethereum. Now that Ethereum's price has gotten up to almost $4,000, if I want to send you something or approve a contract, it can cost easily $40 to $60 every transaction. And people are doing hundreds of transactions a day. So that is the flaw of Ethereum, is their gas fee. So what they actually have is layer 2s building on top of it. Ethereum would be like the layer 1 blockchain with all those nodes and computers approving the blockchain. A layer 2 would be, like an example would be Polygon. They would build on top of Ethereum, and they would roll up a bunch of contracts into a smaller contract or a block, and they would send it through the Ethereum platform, and it would only cost pennies because it's using the Ethereum security, but it's going through the Polygon blockchain built on top of Ethereum. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is that's where the other cryptos come into. So if you're just in it for, like, say you want to put $1,000 in. If you buy Bitcoin, I think it's going to 4x this cycle, and this cycle should last through 2025. So if that's way better than you're getting the stock market. But is that really life-changing money? I mean, $3,000 is nice. What are you going to do? Put a down payment on a car with that? It's not going to get you a nicer house. It's a start, but I'm just trying to explain which cryptos might be best for you. So Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum should do a little better than Bitcoin because it's smaller. What you want to do is you want to look at the market cap. It's got about half the amount of money in it, maybe a third actually. I think Bitcoin's like 1.6 trillion, 1.3 trillion market cap. So in order for Bitcoin to double, you would need to see another 1.3 billion dollars flow into Bitcoin. Now that doesn't mean that the money actually comes in. What that actually means is the demand goes up. Because if, let's say there were only 100 Bitcoin and 99 to 100 people wouldn't sell until it gets to 150 grand, the price would instantly go to 150 grand. Now, people didn't bring that money in, but the value is there. Just like with the stock market, it almost creates money. So you don't really need that much money to come in, but you need that much value to happen. But that's a lot. So in order for the Bitcoin to double, which I do feel it's going to, you would need to see that market cap go up by 1.3 trillion. So let's go back to Ethereum, which is very big market cap. It's the second biggest market cap. But if $1.3 trillion came into Ethereum, it would go up, 4 times. So instead of doubling your money on Bitcoin, if that much money came into Ethereum, you would be making, $1,000 would go to $5,000, $4,000 instead of just $2,000. So where I'm going with this, the smaller, more riskier a coin is, the more likelihood you're going to lose your money, but the more likelihood you're going to make life-changing money. And it happens all the time with crypto. The odds of you picking the right one are probably slim to none. I've never hit 1,000x. I don't think I've ever hit 100x. I have gotten 10x returns, which are pretty freaking fun. So Ethereum being number 2, I would say that Solana is the third best. This is a blockchain just like Ethereum, but the transaction costs are pennies and it's super quick. But they only have about 5% or less of the usage on the network. So it's the 5th biggest crypto coin on here, but I think 2 of the other ones are stable coins. I didn't even get into that, but this video is going to be too long. I know I say that every video, but and I'm probably not going to put crypto in the title because then I'll probably get nailed by YouTube. So, and I think they have programs that are listening to everything you're saying anyway, so they're going to know that I'm talking money. Again, all of this is not financial advice, so you got to do your own research. I'm just telling you my thoughts. So where were we here? So here you can see the market cap on this one is only $61 billion. So if $1.3 trillion came into this one, and this is a great platform, it's never going to catch up to Bitcoin, but if Bitcoin goes crazy, it'll probably catch up. I shouldn't say probably. It'll catch up to Ethereum. Ethereum's at $400 billion. A lot of people think this one will pass Ethereum because it's way more usable. You can go on there. The transactions are quick. It's an easy network. I use it all the time. It's lightning fast and super cheap. So why would you build your new applications on Ethereum when you could build on this blockchain? So I'm super huge on Solana. I was buying it at like $10 A year ago it was $20. We were buying it cheap. I wish we'd have bought more there. Most of my Solana I purchased at around $60. I dumped my Ethereum into Solana. Ethereum was my biggest holder, and I said, no, I don't want to touch Ethereum. It's too expensive to do stuff on. And I use this blockchain. I'm just going to put my money into something that I want to use. So that's what Solana is. It's a layer 1 blockchain, and it's got so much more room to grow. So if you really want to make big money, I mean, most people are talking like $500 is a given this cycle. But there's a chance it goes to $1,000 or $2,000 within a year. There's just that much money flowing into crypto right now. And when Bitcoin goes crazy like it has been, that's what happens. So those are like the safer cryptos, and they still are volatile. I mean, you can see Solana's down 5%. If that happened to Tesla, which I guess that does happen to Tesla, but you just got to get used to the volatility. It's nothing to see stuff going down 15 to 20% in a day. You can't panic. You got to know you're getting into that when you get into crypto. Now, I don't know how much you guys want to know. You're going to have to look. Like this Cadena is the same thing as Solana. Super technology, the best technology there is out there, but nobody's really using the platform yet. So I bought it as a gamble. You can see the market cap is completely smaller. It's the 200th coin in the world. The market cap is only 453 or 35 million versus 43 billion for Solana. This is, to me, better than Solana technology. And it's proof of work, like Bitcoin is, whereas Solana and Ethereum are proof of stake. That's probably another video. It's just basically how they come up with consensus. So, excuse me, Bitcoin's biggest drag down is the amount of electricity it takes to run the network. And the reason that is it's proof of work, it's called, and these miners are all fighting to guess the correct, their hash rate is guessing a secret code. So every block takes 10 minutes, and there's a random code that's published by the blockchain, and whoever guesses that code first gets the right to mine that block, and they get 6 Bitcoin. And then everybody else that didn't guess it right still has to take a snapshot of the ledger, and they just get paid in the fees. So like when I send you something in Bitcoin, I have to pay $10. And that $10 gets spread out to all the miners every transaction. So that's how they get paid. But if you get lucky and you guess this random incoherent letter or number code, you get all 6 of the Bitcoin for that 10 minutes. And then after April 18th, you're only going to get 3 Bitcoin. So what these computers are doing is they're just ramping up their hash rates, and they're just making these massive, I shouldn't say massive because they aren't that big, but they're just consuming so much electricity trying to be the highest generator of codes every minute. And that's where the electricity comes in. It costs almost no electricity to take a snapshot of the ledger. It's all the miners trying to guess that code. And if you've had a Bitcoin miner, if somebody tells you they're mining Bitcoin in their basement, they're lying. These things sound like a jet engine, and they are kicking out 100-degree heat constantly. So if you got one in your basement, you're going to keep your windows open in the winter. If you're living in Wisconsin or Canada, it's just astronomical. So usually these miners are in an industrial machine or a shop, and they're usually like 210 electricity, like your dryer would be. So that's where the electricity comes in. Cadena does the same thing, but it doesn't use that much electricity. So that's the advantage, and the transactions are super cheap, super fast. It's really scalable, meaning there's like 20 different layers, and it can expand that at any time so that it never gets jammed up. The network never slows down. The fees never go up. It's really great technology. It went up to like $27 last cycle, but they kind of screwed up their marketing and they screwed over some developers and they lost a lot of clout, but it's been making a big comeback. I mean, I think I was buying this at like 40 cents this year. There it is. So I bought all the way through this dip, and it's kind of like a gamble coin for me. I wasn't expecting to do it as good as it is now, but I just want to explain it. This is like a long lottery shot. I'm selling it now because I don't know how long it can last. But going back to Ethereum and Solana, they're a proof of stake network. So what that means is if you have Solana tokens or Ethereum tokens, you can delegate them to the network and you can stake them with a node. And a node is just a server, a low energy server that takes snapshots of the blockchain, and it barely uses any electricity, but it's not as secure as Bitcoin where it's proof of work, but it's pretty darn close. And that's how they also get governance, and you can vote because you own the network. If you're playing around on Ethereum, you own it. You're not using somebody else's product. You own it with the coins that you have of the network. So the government can never come in and shut this thing down. They can't do it. Or they would have done it by now if they could. They've pretty much given up on that. They can ban you from mining in the United States, but then all that money is going to go to the other countries. And people are still going to do it anyways, and they're not going to catch them. But, excuse me, lost my train of thought here for a second. So these proof of stake platforms are more environmentally friendly because they're not using as much electricity, but they are slightly less secure, but they're more than secure enough. Then after we get past, I should talk about Pith. So in order to talk about Pith, we got to talk about Chainlink. So Chainlink, number 14 coin, is at $20. What this is an oracle. This video is going too long. What oracles do is they basically provide all the information that are needed on these blockchains. So anytime Ethereum needs to look at how much rain happened for a contract for insuring your crops, or if you're going to make an exchange and you're going to swap Bitcoin into Ethereum, it will take information from all the exchanges in the world and compile it into one area and feed it in so that they will have accurate pricing. So there's a coin associated with this chain called Chainlink, and it will link all the chains together, all the chains that we've talked about and thousands more, and it'll show the same information on all the chains. They didn't have any competition until recently. It was Chainlink or nobody. And it looks like Chainlink had a pretty good day. I guess that's only 8%, but hey, look, a squirrel. So all these cryptos are going to have similar charts. They were suffering a year ago. They're making gold now. Up similar to Bitcoin, but soon they'll be up more than Bitcoin. It's just how the systems usually work. So that's what Chainlink is. It's basically where blockchains get their data. That leads me into Pith. Some people call it Pyth. This is Solana's main oracle. This is the new Chainlink. And I did a comparison on all these, and this is by far better technology than Chainlink. It's extremely faster, and it's working with thousands more applications than Chainlink. So in all respects, it's already miles and miles and miles better technology. So I bought a decent bag of this stuff, and I bought it at 50 cents. I'm up 33 or like 66% on this one in a matter of 2 months. So that's why that's up on my number 4. TIA is a new blockchain that came out, a new layer 1. I bought like $50 of it when it became brand new, like 2 months ago. Let's go to 3 months. It doesn't even go that far. So when I bought it, it was like, I bought $50 worth. Looks like it was around $4 when it first came out, and that $50 went to $350 like pretty quickly. And then I bought another $650 worth, so that gave me $1,000 worth, even though I don't have $1,000 in it. I have $700 in it. That $700 is probably $3,500 right now in 3 months. And yes, you got to pay taxes on it all when you sell. Every transaction is a tax event. So if I sold my $3,500 and put it right into Bitcoin, I got to pay taxes on all those gains. If I sold it and bought it back, there's no wash rules in crypto. I don't know if you know what those are, but in stocks, if you sell a stock, you have to stay out of it. I think it's 30 days in order to use that as a tax event. If you buy it back within 30 days, it's not a tax event, which can hurt you if you're trying to take profits in a tax year that you want to. Whereas in crypto, you could sell in December and buy it right back, and you can use that in your tax year if it's to your advantage. That's another story. And don't use me as your tax guy. I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. Not financial advice. Not a tax advisor. So I just wanted to explain some of the more riskier coins on my list. If you don't want risk, buy these top 3. This CBK is something I mine at home, and it wasn't worth mining, and I did it anyways, and it just skyrocketed recently. So I've ended up doing quite well mining this. They're just small little ASIC machines that you can buy on the internet, and you plug them in. There's no screen or anything, and they take snapshots of that blockchain. The Nervous Network is what this one is called. And then I get like 50 cents a day, and it was costing me 50 cents in electricity a day. So why the heck was I running my miners? I guess they provided heat in the winter, but it took off, as you can see here, and it's just been going up and up and up. So that's probably a better example of how much we went up this year. This one, my $500 is probably, I just sold them. I think it was $3,500 yesterday, and I sold some. DOT, I'm not a real fan of. I just have it because it was in there from something else. This Cody that I'm putting at the top of the screen is a nice gamble coin if you want. It has phenomenal technology. It was built on a blockchain that sucked, called Cardano. I'm sorry if you guys hold Cardano. Cardano got me into the space. I was a Cardano freak. If you use their platform, compare it to their competition, Cardano sucks. So I sold all my Cardano. And this Cody application left Cardano and it went to Ethereum. And I bought this at 21 cents, so not long ago. I just bought it when I was on vacation 2 weeks ago. So this one has not run yet. What am I up? I guess I'm probably up 6% or something. I don't know what the math is on that. More than that. But why I bought this one is, look how small it is. It's the 219th coin, and the market cap is tiny. Most of the coins have been distributed already. That's where market cap versus fully diluted comes in. Basically, they're paying their miners and stakers with the money that's left. So those are all good stats. But the technology on this layer 2 application on Ethereum is better than all the competition. It does the same thing as like Arbitrum would. I just want to find some competition here. Like Uniswap here at the top, it does the same thing Uniswap does, and that's a 10 billion company, $10 billion application. So it's the same thing as the top thing at Uniswap. Just trying to show you some other ones if I don't miss them. I'm sure I missed some already. Like Arbitrum is a $2 billion application, and there's like 9 other ones that they compete with on Cody. And where are we at? 10 billion was Arbitrum or Uniswap. So this one is only 372 million. So even if it doesn't do better than its competition, which it's got the by far better technology, quicker transactions, much cheaper, this is what people should be using. Even if it just did half of what the competition is, this is going to be a big gainer for me. So that's kind of why I bought that one. It's not as exciting to buy these bigger caps because there's less room to grow. That one has a lot of room to grow. Then I'm going to say most of these other ones, from Atom down to Osmo, are just coins that I bought to stake and donate to or lend to the network, delegate to the network, because what they'll do is these coins here in this group, and my TIA would be in that category. Maybe Pith is in this category too, but if you stake these coins to the network, when a new application comes out, and there's a bunch of applications on there already that don't have coins, they will go public, so to speak, in the crypto sense. They will go public and they will issue coins like shares in a company like Amazon would be. They will issue coins, and instead of just pushing a button and saying, okay, go to the exchange and go for our coin, what happens is people will all come together. They'll buy on the same day that that company opens up. It'll go to the moon, and then somebody who had the coin at the beginning will sell it all, and it'll just crush the price. And even though the company's great, their price never recovers on their cryptocurrency. So instead of doing that, they will send, it's called an airdrop, they will send me their token because they can see that I'm using these networks and I'm delegating my coins to them. So I'll do anywhere from $1,000 to $100 on some of these just to make myself qualified for their airdrops. I did get a $3,000 airdrop probably a month ago. It was this Dimension one here. They opened up a month ago, and the coin went from $5 to $8.50 pretty quickly, and I sold at $8.50, even though there's not a measurement up there for $8.50. I sold 2,000 of it. I kept 1,000 out of the 3,000 and staked it so that I could get more airdrops. And then I took that other 2,000 and I put it into these other coins so that I can get staking reward or airdrop rewards. So I don't think there's any more down there. So these are just junk coins. I have like $50 to $100 tops, and they're just gambles. Do I have to cover meme coins? We're going to cover meme coins because I have to. People make a lot of money on meme coins. I don't because I haven't been that lucky. But I'm sure you've heard of Dogecoin. People will buy Dogecoin because it's only 17 cents. And if I bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, I would get like, I don't know, what's the math on that? 68th of a Bitcoin. Whatever percent that comes out to be. But if I bought $1,000 of Doge, I would have 6,000 tokens, more than that, and I look rich. And if Doge ever caught up to Bitcoin, I would buy my whole town and burn the houses of the people I don't like. But you can't really do that because you have to look at the market cap. There's so many Doge available in the world. It can't catch up to Bitcoin ever. If you look, it's still got a $23 billion market cap. And they make 10,000 Doge a minute. I mine Doge. It merge mines with Litecoin, so I get two tokens at once. Again, those miners don't make money all year, and now they're starting to make some money. So I sell my Doge instantly. I'll turn it into other stuff. 10,000 new Doge a minute. That's really inflationary. So it's worse than the US dollar. But people don't know that. So they buy it because it's cute. I like dogs. And Elon talked about it. And what's really frustrating is some of these coins that we talked about, I did a lot of research on them. And that's why I bought them. And they'll perform and the coin won't go up anywhere near as fast as some of these stupid meme coins. So if you're a degenerate gambler, you can buy these meme coins and wait for them to go up. I really don't recommend buying Doge or Shiba is the number 11 there. They've already run. What people will do is they will try to find some of these dumb ones down here, like the Yes coin. Wait, no, that's not a meme token. Doji is like a meme token, but there's only 21 million, just like Bitcoin. And this is built on the Doge network because it's proof of work. You can actually build on Doge. So instead of buying Doge, I bought this coin. If it takes off, like look at the market cap, it's not even on here. The market cap, I think, is like $14 million. So it would, if it caught up to $1 billion, I could retire on $100. I don't know if that's good math or not. I could buy a house on $100. So, but don't do more than $100 because it's probably going to zero. You know, you don't want to put $1,000 on this stuff unless you're just a gambler. This altcoin, I don't know. So that's what a meme coin is. And there's thousands of them. This is a meme coin, this Mia. It's got like, again, I think it's a $14 million market cap. If it catches on, I can just laugh at how much stupid money I would make. But it's probably going to zero. That's what you got to expect. So I'm not going to go through all these coins. Some of these are just old legacy things that I have like just $1 worth. So I won't even look into those. I think that's enough. How long have we been talking? It's going to be an hour video. So I'm going to cut it out here. Comments. Leave some comments. And and I can see what you're thinking. I probably only have like 2 viewers left at this point. I don't even like hearing myself talk at this point. See if there's any other comments I needed to hit. What kind of bot is it? I already answered that. It's the ESB bot. Buddy, I won't quit the game yet. I wait till we meet soon in SVS. That day comes, you will recognize me because of the name of my alt. I don't know if I understand that one. Somebody copied my name and I couldn't put it back. Ad will change name of my keep, I hope. I don't know. So maybe he did that. It was one of my aliases that somebody locked up. But it is what it is. It would be great. Find me in the game and friend me so I know who you are. I'm in the server 1128. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't think there was any other Evony stuff to cover. So comment. Let me know what you want to hear more of. If it's crypto, great. I'll get into more depth. If it's... did we talk about how to buy it? Okay, so it's a pain in the butt to buy. I would recommend going to Coinbase. You're going to have to do KYC, which means you're going to have to show them a picture of your driver's license, give them your social security number. They won't let you use their platform unless they know you're going to get taxed for your profits. So if you buy it on Coinbase, I don't use Coinbase because I can't get my bank linked to it, but my wife did. So she buys on Coinbase. I used to use Binance.us, but the banks all colluded against them to shut them down because they want Coinbase to be the number one because they're in the United States. So Coinbase is also hosting all of the ETF funds. Like the ETFs can't hold their own crypto. It was written into their contracts with the SEC in order to get approval. So they're the custodial for all, I think, all 11 ETFs. Could be wrong on that. At least 9 out of the 11. So the problem with that is if you send in $1,000 to Coinbase, it's going to probably cost you $20, $25 just to get your money over there. So you're already down 2.5%. And then when you buy your crypto, Coinbase tends to have like a premium, meaning like if you think you're buying a $60,000 Bitcoin, you'll click buy if you do a market buy, and you'll end up finding out that it costs you like $60,250. It's like, well, nobody's got that price on any exchange, but that's Coinbase. So now you're down to like $970, $960 worth of Bitcoin, and it cost you $1,000. That drives me crazy, but that's kind of how it is to get your money on the Bitcoin or on the crypto. When I would use Binance, it cost me almost nothing, but then the government had to do what the government does and protect me from myself by costing me money, and now they basically created a monopoly. But I do buy it on Robinhood, and you can send it out. You can buy it on PayPal, and you can send it out. When I say send it out, you can send it out to a wallet that would allow you to stake it or do whatever else you want. But if you're just getting started, you just want to make some good solid money, I would just stay on Coinbase, keep your Bitcoin and your Ethereum and your Solana there. And the only risk you have there is if they go bankrupt, which I can't imagine Coinbase could. But if they went bankrupt, you would lose a lot of your money. And that's happened to me on smaller exchanges. I lost quite a bit in the last crash that happened during the COVID times. So I guess let me know if you want to know more about like wallets and how to hold your own crypto. It gets messy. You can screw up and lose your crypto by doing something wrong. It's pretty scary. Whereas if you just buy it and keep it on Coinbase, you have no risk of that. So I'm just going to stop here. Comment what you want to see next, and we'll go.